Welcome to the Angus Report, a news program for cattle producers.
The week's top headlines from American Angus Association headquarters include the impact of docility on quality grade.
We look at EPA's proposed water regulations and potential ranch consequences.
Trichomoniasis regulations are giving some ranchers headaches. Can states work out these differing requirements? And a look at alternative ways to check cows for pregnancy.
The popular I Am Angus documentary series returns with a new season. We bring you all the details. This is the Angus Report. Hello, I'm Bob Cervera.
And I'm Crystal Albers.
Our top news this week. Docility has significant influence on management issues around the farm or ranch, but it also has an impact on the ultimate eating experience. An animal's temperament can go beyond the pasture gate, affecting feedlot performance, health, and even carcass value. Larry Cora with Certified Angus Beef says more docile cattle are more likely to hit higher quality grades and qualify for the CAB brand.
First of all, it affected feedlot performance. These cattle behave differently in the feedlot. And then the next thing is that once they hang on the rail, that's a different kind of product. They're going to be less likely to hit a quality target like Certified Angus Beef. Prime, they tend to be lower grading type cattle, and that has tremendous economic consequences today. There are more issues relative to health-related problems in these cattle, which is again one of the negative factors associated with docility beyond just the performance attributes, the quality grade attributes that are create discounts. You also have the factor health part, and health today in the cattle industry is so absolutely critical that we don't have major health problems, as these cattle are worth so much more than they were 5 and 10 years ago. Through a genetic selection program and identifying these cattle that are a problem, getting them out of the herd, we can make tremendous progress. And to the credit of the beef industry, we have made tremendous progress on docility.
The Clean Water Act was introduced in 1972 to alleviate water pollution, but it also opened the door to the Environmental Protection Agency's efforts to expand regulation of U.S. water. Now, a proposed rule from the agency seeks to expand its definition of waters of the United States to include any water that feeds navigable rivers and streams already under jurisdiction. According to Colin Woodall of the National Cattlemen's Beef Association, EPA's proposal could limit producers' ability to control water on private land.
EPA would like to remove that term navigable and basically change the definition of the waters of the United States to cover every water body in this country and potential water body in this country. So we're now talking about in-crown stock tanks, ponds, playa lakes that even fill up just when it rains. All of those would all of a sudden be under the jurisdiction of the Environmental Protection Agency. So it would change the face of agriculture. We are doing everything that we can to stop this process.
Cargill will label beef products containing finely textured beef beginning with next year's grilling season. The Associated Press reports the labels will state contains finely textured beef. Of course, the announcement comes after last year's media frenzy that portrayed Beef Products Incorporated, LFTB products, through highly publicized and negative coverage. Federal regulators have deemed finely textured beef as safe and do not require labeling. However, a Cargill spokesperson says the company's research suggests consumers want products containing the ingredient to be clearly labeled.
Checking cows for pregnancy is a routine on-farm task, but producers today have a few more options. Traditional preg-checking by palpation can detect pregnancy as soon as 65 days, but other methods to determine whether a cow is open can include ultrasound and blood tests. Virginia veterinarian Dee Whittier discussed these differences during the recent Applied Reproductive Strategies in Beef Cattle Conference.
The producers ought to make the decision based on the availability of a good veterinarian or practitioner. And then there are certainly occasions where the ability of ultrasound to detect an earlier pregnancy, the availability of ultrasound to stage pregnancies better, might be valuable to people. For many people, that's not a big concern. And so it's just going to depend on what you want to do with that pregnancy diagnosis in your particular situation.
The Beef Improvement Federation will host its Genetic Prediction Workshop December 12th and 13th in Kansas City, Missouri. The conference will welcome academics, allied industry representatives, breed association staff, and cattle producers to the forum, featuring the latest developments in beef cattle genetic evaluation. The implementation of genomic technologies will be the focus of discussion. Pre-registration is due December 1st and is available at ksubeef.org. along with a complete schedule.
The American Angus Association's award-winning documentary series, I Am Angus, returns to television next week for its third season. Families will want to tune their TVs to RFD-TV Thanksgiving night starting at 9 p.m. Central. Don't miss the season premiere as we give thanks for people like you who are dedicated to feeding the world with quality, wholesome beef. That's 9 p.m. Central right here on RFD-TV. We go now to Jenna McCrell with a look at some of the other headlines you may have missed.
Thanks, Crystal. A United States appeals court recently put a stop to federal horse slaughter inspections following an emergency request from animal rights groups. Reuters News reports that the move comes after a federal district judge threw out a lawsuit that aimed to completely eliminate horse slaughter, which was filed in July by the Humane Society of the United States and other animal activist organizations. In many areas of the country, water is a scarce resource, and Texas farmers and ranchers know that all too well. The November election brought some positive news to the area as Texas voters approved special funds to help finance priority water projects for the state, including rural and agricultural conservation projects. The Texas and Southwestern Cattle Raisers Association strongly supported the measure, which set aside $2 billion for priority water project loans. The National Beef Quality Assurance Program continues to gain momentum across cattle country. According to Beef Today, more than 900 Kansas producers completed BQA training at local auction markets this year, thanks to sessions hosted by Kansas State University's Beef Cattle Institute. Program organizers hope to grow that number in coming months with the launch of an online training course courtesy of a grant from Boehringer Ingelheim. And that's just a quick look at the news headlines you may have missed. For the Angus Report, I'm Jenna McCrell.
When the Angus Report returns, a look inside the time-honored traditions of the American Royal.
But first, the complicated procedures for trichomoniasis regulation and the search for consistency.
Visit angus.org to continue watching this episode of the Angus Report.
The Angus Report is brought to you by Merck Animal Health. Why not prevent respiratory disease before it steals from your bottom line? Vista Once protects your calves with the most complete respiratory disease coverage available. And Vision Blackleg vaccines can add 14 pounds per calf at weaning. Contact your veterinarian or animal health supplier today.
At 44 Farms, we believe work starts at sunup and doesn't stop until sundown. We believe in order to live off the land, you have to love and respect it. We believe that cattle aren't just raised, they're nurtured. And we believe when you do things right, with honesty and integrity, well, things like quality and consistency happen naturally. 44 Farm Steaks, responsibly raised all-natural beef.
We stand for what we believe in. We believe in you. It's more than a job. It's your way of life. Who you are, where you live, and what you do. The way you treat your cattle, your family, your employees, and your neighbors. The water you drink, the air you breathe, and the ground you walk on. What you do every day gives families something to gather around every night. It's about doing what's right for your cattle, your land, your community, and your business. It's your livelihood, and it means as much to us as it does to you. We all believe in responsible beef. Let's stand together at responsiblebeef.com.
Thomas Angus Ranch is your nationwide source for Angus genetics that excel on the range, in the feedlot, and on the rail. Thomas Angus Ranch is a performance-oriented program you can trust to put the right genetics in your herd. Thomas Angus Ranch is dedicated to meeting customer needs and guarantees the use of the industry's top genetics. Thomas Angus Ranch, the brand that pays. When forage quality is low, power your cow herd with VitaFerm Power products. Power Keg, Power Meal, and Power Lick Tub. All three deliver natural 20% protein and are fully fortified with Amaferm, the digestive enhancer, and can septate levels of vitamins and minerals like copper, zinc, and manganese. VitaFerm Power products include the minerals your cattle need to maximize reproduction and health, which means you don't have to feed minerals separately. VitaFerm Power Products for cattle on mature forages, crop residues, or low-energy hay. Learn more at vitafirm.com.